guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because this is the final round and the final game of the regular season 2025 Super Rugby. And yeah, Reds put on a great result against the Fijian Drua, 52 points to 7. And yeah, this is again some of the top teams, the traditional, I guess you could call it like the legacy teams, again building up towards the finals, whereas some of the newer teams really struggles to finish off the season strong, as we saw over and over again this season. And I think it is partly to do with the coaching stuff, supporting stuff at the back, getting the players to pick at the right times. But it is difficult when you have a newer team like Fijian Drua. And I think the biggest problem with Fijian Drua is leaking talents to overseas. Similar positions that we're in here in Australia as well, and I just really don't like seeing that a player gets experience, gets opportunities to build up the get all the local fans involved and vested and committed into your career, and then just go overseas and leave everybody behind. And I really don't like that. I think that Rugby Australia, Super Rugby, and Fijian Rugby, including New Zealand Rugby as well, could do a lot better in that regards in retaining talents. I think that, I've proposed some ideas on this channel, and, it's up to, Rugby Australia and all that to try to, make a difference to the situation at hand. But yeah, this was a bit of wet condition as well. Raining, really greasy. It looked like mud rugby out there. Lots of, they kind of like, this kind of led into a lot of stop-start. But the Reds focused on what they were good at. I'm really glad that they didn't just come in stuck kicking penalties like they did last week. And, despite the wet conditions, the Reds actually handled the ball to some pretty good results. The kicking game was quite accurate and quite good. Lockie Anderson, 4 tries in 40 minutes, and I was hoping that he could get a 5th, maybe even a 6th in the second half. But the Reds didn't give him the opportunity. The wet conditions aside, I thought the Reds did really well, focusing on their fundamentals, building on that set piece, building on that pressure, and then good hands out wide, finding that, unleashing the space out wide after sustained pressure in midfield. The breakdown pressure was really good from the Reds as well, something that they've been, honing in quite a bit in recent weeks, and that's yielded great results. Lots of good turnovers from Fraser McRae, and I thought that's one key area I think the Drua really lacked a little bit tonight. Outside of that, I think the Honduras, I've talked about this in my previous weeks and the reviews. I think the Honduras lost a bit of their identity. In addition to obviously leaking their players going overseas, I think the style of Fijian rugby is it's something that we really come to enjoy. That open, that open style, free flow, counter-attacking style rugby. I just haven't really seen too much of that. And when we do see it occasionally, like the games that Fijians play at home, and it is really good. And it's really hard to predict and really hard to defend as an attacking team. I think the Honduras has kind of drawn into that same style of up and unders and kicking game. And when you receive the kick, you should be looking at ways to like exploit it for a counter attack. And a lot of times the Honduras kind of just kick the ball back, like what you would do with every other team, which I think that is kind of like you're kind of playing a game style that's not mostly suited to the talents that you have at hand. The idea here is it's kind of like the Springboks playing, extra forwards on the bench. They recognizes that they have big bat forwards, and they wanted to abuse that advantage over the opposition, and then they craft the game plan around that, regardless of what people are saying about 6-2, 7-1. They just do focus on their game plan and try to figure out a way to maximize the benefit of that. And whereas I think Honduras has the potential, has a clear edge in that counter-attacking, free flow, open style of rugby, that 7 style of rugby, and I think that just really haven't really crafted a game plan to capitalize on it, especially this season. And yeah, it's good now that the Reds are going to be going to the finals against the Crusaders at Christchurch next week. It'll be a big game, I think, and it's also good that the Reds have a lot of the injuries back as well, with Josh Fluke, Harry Wilson as well. So yeah, there'll be a full force team heading into Christchurch, and that'll be exciting. And I hope that the Reds can get this one over. Last year they fell short in New Zealand. I think it was against Christchurch as well, against Crusaders, and maybe we can get a bit of a better turnaround this time. Anyway, let's have a look at the match stats. Just one thing before I move on. I just really hope that the Reds stick to the game plan that they've laid down for the season, Christchurch next week, and not going for penalty kicks, and just, yeah, I really hope they stick to the game plan, even if they lose the game, because they stuck to and then sticking to the game plan. It's better than that than actually just try to milk penalties and kick easy goals. And I just think that it's just mentally, it's not the right way to go about it, and not strategically as well, and mentally, I think it's just, again, players looking for an easy way out, and that's just it just capitulates into something that, yeah, I really don't want to see. So anyway, let's have a look at the stats of the game. 8 tries to 1 for the Reds. It's only 1 try for the 8 tries to 1 for the Reds. What's going on? I don't know why the stats. 8 tries to 1, 441 run meters to the Enduros 280. 11 turnovers conceded for the Reds, 17 against the Enduros. Like I said, the breakdown work was quite good for the Reds. 139 tackles made by the Reds, 21 missed tackles. 143 tackles made by the Enduros, 19 missed tackles there. So in terms of tackle count and completion rate, they're actually pretty similar. So there's not too many like missed tackles that led to the tries. It was just Reds able to create space with their game plan. 2 missed conversions from the Reds. 1 out of 1 for Armstrong Ravola. 15 kicks in play for the Enduros and 23 for the Reds. 536 run kick from hand meters for the Reds, 434 for the Fijian Enduros. Lineouts, we got 14 and no loss for the Reds. 11 lineouts for the Enduros, 1 loss for themselves. 9 scrums for the Reds, no loss. 7 scrums for the Enduros, 0 loss. I thought the scrum battle was pretty decent, and I thought the referee, probably could have made a couple calls. I thought the Reds had a bit of an edge there, especially, I thought, they did get it. Like, I think there was at least 1 penalty that's given to the Reds, but I really think that the referee should relay the scrum. Like, sometimes they just give away the penalty. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I think maybe scrum, they need to play, like, advantage during the scrum. For example, like, I think there was an early engagement, right? And then because this wasn't the second time this happened, the referee just immediately given a full arm. I thought the referee could just play it on. Maybe, like, just let it like play like a advantage in that situation. Like, just let the scrum play it out, and then just because it's almost like, you spend all the time getting everybody together, and then before the engagement is even called, you've given out a penalty. I thought maybe they could think about something alongside of playing advantage in a situation like that for the red for the attacking team. 5 penalties conceded for the Reds, 10 against the Enduros, 2 yellow cards against the Enduros, both for dangerous tackle. One of them was taking a player out in the air. I thought that could have been a red card, taking out the junkyard dog. Just didn't even jump, just ran straight underneath junkyard. And then there was another one where what was it? I think it was a clean out. Maybe, I think it was a clean out. It was a bit high. Can't even remember what's the other one. We'll get through it when we go through the recap. Exactly. I think it was just the clean out 10 minutes in, and I thought there was not much danger to it. It should just be a penalty. Again, similar situation. The player was lifted above the horizontal, but it really wasn't like power drive. I think it's just a penalty. Like, there wasn't much danger, but if you had like lift the player up and power drive him in the ground, then yes, would have been a send off. But I feel like it was just a clean out where you like lift the player's leg off the ground and then just like kind of like dropped in off to the side. I thought it wasn't even that hard of a lift, considering it was like near the rock. So yeah, I thought that was a bit too harsh. The one of the clean outs from the first yellow card. Anyway, let's have a look at the recap of the game. It took about 11 minutes for the Reds to score their first try. They did a lot of this backdoor plays where Lino will pass the ball and then loop behind the ball. The whoever, like Hunter Paisami, who did the backdoor back to Lino and then creates a bit of an overlap. They did it right here after the yellow card and basically spread the way out wide. Lockie Anderson goes in for the first try out down the sideline. 7-0. 22 minutes into the game. the Reds was about 22 meters out. Lots of tight crash balls. Eventually, again, just drawing all the defenders in, sending the ball out wide. Anderson goes in for the second try, 14 points to 0. 21 minutes into the game. Oh, no, sorry. This was a crash ball from Anderson who came in close. Crash ball, just doing a bit of a sneaking in there as a forward, getting the try, 14 points to 0. 21 minutes in the game, the Reds, again, playing really wide. There was another out of the backdoor play, and again, the ball went out to almost identical play from the first try. Good hands from Jock Campbell to Anderson, who dunked the ball into the corner. 19 points to 0. 29 minutes of the game. There was a bit of rainy conditions. The Reds just building a lot of pressure near the try line. And the George Cannon, who's been outstanding this season, by the way, gets the crash ball over. 26 points. He's been very physical all season as well. 34 minutes of the game. The Drua looked like they had scored. There was a knock-on leading to it, to a disallowed try. 38 minutes in the game. There was another scrum. The ball came out. There was a crossfield kick following the scrum straight to Lockie Anderson out in the wind. Try time, the fourth try before halftime, 33 points to 0. Second half starts, 3 minutes second half. The Endurers came out with a bit more muscle. They put a lot of pressure through center field. There was a penalty. They went for a 5-meter line out. And then they just muscled this one through with some pick and drive. And then there was a little bit of Hete had a teammate behind him, pushed him over. 33 points to 7. The 55 minutes, there was another yellow card against Drua for taking out player in the air. Junkyard Dog got taken out in the air. 57 minutes, George Fluke came back and gets his try on the board. He almost got one before this. It was a grabber kick into the corner. He couldn't quite get there in time. But this one, again, the Reds building pressure center field, spreading the ball out wide, gets the pass down the sideline into the corner. 38 points to 7 for the Reds. 74 minutes of the game, more penalties to the Reds. They went for the line out. There was a lot of pressure for the Reds, and then the ball was like passed backwards, and one of the Enduro players going for an intercept, and he dropped the ball on the ground, and then the loose pass was scooped up at Daugunu, and then linked up with Junkyard Dog, and then eventually the ball came back to Daugunu, who looked like he was in a maul, and then he just had teammates helping behind him, pushed him through, and then Daugunu drove the ball hard into the ground over the player. I tried to hold him up for the try. 45 points to 7. Finally, 80 minutes into the game, the Reds gets a penalty right in from the goal line. They get a quick tap for the penalty, and then lots of pressure, and eventually just some quick hand center field from, I think, Tumanga Allen. Really quick hand, like a back to Brian, who crashed over center field for the try. 52 points to 7, the final score. And that's the end of the season. And the Reds, unfortunate, couldn't quite make it into a home final. We'll be traveling to Christchurch, but I think this is definitely a better finish than last week's lackluster performance, in my opinion, especially in the first half against the Hurricanes. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week for the news. Have a good weekend. Cheers.